Hey there, creators. So today I'm actually going to be talking about this idea of failure. I actually had a different video idea planned for this week's upload. However, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but as a creator, I'm having difficulties like thinking about failure and thinking about what I can do better. And maybe it's just because I'm taking this time to recenter and figure out how I can be a better creator, how I can be a better person, stuff like that. But failure is definitely at the forefront of my mind. Especially being a creator, like I see a video, it goes out, it gets dislikes, and I'm like, well, what did I really do wrong there? And that's where comments always come in handy. You know, obviously, maybe there's something I am doing wrong, and I would genuinely like to know what it is so that I can go ahead and remedy it. But this video, for those of you who are following VidEdge, is going to be about motivation to create. And it's going to be a little bit different. Like, normally on this channel, I talk about, like, YouTube, the finesse of YouTube, how you can go ahead and use some tools to possibly get more views and stuff like that. As a channel and as a creator, I'm never going to guarantee that you do this, you get views, because then that sets me up to either have a video that does bad, or it also sets me up to be like, a whole bunch of people come back to me and say, well, I did this and I didn't get any views. So just always remember that these videos are a tool for you as a creator to go ahead and kind of think about, like, oh, I didn't think about doing that. Maybe I should do that. So today we're going to be talking about motivation for creation, and we're actually going to be talking about failure. To give a little bit of a sneak peek of the video that I was going to be working on, it was going to be things that gaming channels need to go ahead and incorporate into the videos or live streams. But I'm actually going to push that to next week and maybe a week after, in another more interesting topic actually comes up before then. So let's talk about failure. And why are we talking about failure? Because you can't talk about success without talking about failure. Failure is part of the process. As kids, we are taught by both society, by parents, by academic institutions, that if you fail, you have done something bad. And while that is not always true, or it is true, the important thing is the process of how you accept failure. Now, for me, I have troubles doing this, like, different days, weeks, months out of the year than others, and I'm not really sure why that is, and maybe it's just because, like, if I fail, you know, it requires me to take a little bit of a more I'm trying to think of the word here. It forces me to take an inner look at myself, and what I did that actually led up to this failure. Because there's always, you know, usually behind every failure, there's a lesson that you can learn, that you actually can use to either better yourself, better your content, better your SEO, or better anything about YouTube as well. So I have actually been listening to a lot of TED Talks about failure, and if you actually, like, do a Google search on failure, there is so many articles on failure, because it's a big thing. It's a huge keyword. It's a huge feeling that we feel as human beings, that, you know, this idea of failure. And as I mentioned before, as kids, we're taught that it's a very, very bad thing. Like, it's something that you want to stay away from. And really, the only thing that you should be worried about is failing to fail. And the reason I say that is because, think about it. I mean, like, everyone fails at some point in their life. In fact, we make whole memes about epic fail and stuff like that. Like, chances are, unless you die when you're immediately born, and if you did and are watching this video, I don't know, tell me how to do that in the afterlife. But if you think about it, from the time that you're born to the time that you die, you'll probably be experiencing a significant amount of failures, and you'll be experiencing some successes as well. But if you really think about it, all of your successes are actually built upon all of your failures. And what I mean by this is that psychologically, us as human beings, when we fail, we seek to figure out what we did wrong so that we don't end up failing again. And this is how success is built. So say you take a walk and you're not wearing the best shoes, and so you roll your ankle. Ow, that hurts. That's a little bit of a failure. Maybe I shouldn't have worn these shoes. So you decide, okay, well, this time around, I'm going to take a walk, but I'm going to wear better shoes. But it's hot outside and you forgot to put on sunscreen. Well, ow, I'm burnt now. I'm a lobster. So now you think about this failure and you're like, well, if it's a hot day, I better put on sunscreen before I go ahead and take a walk. So you take a walk, you put on sunscreen, and you actually have a great walk. And it's a great walk, and you can say, hey, this was a successful walk. It's the same idea for video creation, right? I did mention in a previous video how to make better videos and stuff like that. That what Mr. Beast said is the way he got better at making YouTube videos is he would just make videos. He'd make 100 videos and improve upon something once in that video. Now, keep in mind, this is talking about Mr. Beast's success, but what it also underlies is that he had a lot of failures in videos before he blew up, right? Like, if you actually listen to a lot of creators who have interviewed him, they talk about, like, how a year ago, he was only at, like, actually, it's probably about 2 years ago at this point, but about 2 years ago, he was at, like, maybe 8,000 subscribers. Now, obviously, he is a very viral YouTuber, but he had to do a lot of failures to make the videos that people wanted to see. So, my advice for you as a creator and my motivation for you is, if a video does bad, sure, be a little bit upset about it, wonder what you could have done differently, and maybe that'll lead you to go ahead and be a successful creator like Mr. Beast. But that's going to be it for this video on VidEdge. Again, a little bit of a different type of video, right? Normally I talk about different things about YouTube, different things that you can do, different tools that you can use to go ahead and kind of up your chances to get noticed in the YouTube algorithm. But I figured, I know for me, I'm needing a motivation video to go ahead and get me creating again. Maybe you guys needed the same thing. So I hope this helped. We will definitely see you guys later, and goodbye.